movie moving forward. And look, on that note, I'm going to move forward to the next topic. It's all about WandaVision and Russo. Paul, what's their names? Anthony and Joe Russo. I was about to say Paul Russo. And how they never had any plans for WandaVision when they were putting the final touches on their Infinity Saga. Their Infinity Saga, it wasn't theirs. Their Endgame and Infinity War movies. They weren't given the notion of WandaVision. They weren't given the seeds of the new era of the MCU. They just get told to finish what they were working on and move on to pastures new. We've got another comment here. I think JG is on a producer for the Superman project, which is rumoured to exist in the Batman world. Now that would be very interesting indeed, wouldn't it? We have already seen the Halloween shots on the set of Matt Reeves' Batman movie, and there is a Superman costume there. That created the concept of this superhero existing in the Batman trilogy. I would love to see a Superman character popping up. That Matt Reeves Batman trilogy is getting all the more interesting as time goes on. I'm really looking forward to Pattinson. By all accounts, a really interesting figure on the set. There's lots of rumours about him getting up to some dodgy shit with Zoe Kravitz and things like that. Be really interesting to see how they take that trilogy moving on. But look, yeah, I'll get into this. There's quite a lengthy quote here. I'm not going to hang about reading the second quote because, to be quite frank, I don't think that's as prescient to the actual conversation. Well, it mentions WandaVision, so we'll get into it. We'll read the two. One of the great things about Endgame, I think this is Anthony speaking, about Endgame was your job was to sort of bring a sense of closure to a journey that had been unfolding up until that moment. The unique thing about Endgame was, for us, unlike Winter Soldier, unlike Civil War, unlike Infinity War, we did not have to think about what happened after Endgame. And in fact, that was a mutually agreed upon thing that we came to with Marvel, because that was what freed us up. And I'm also speaking for writers Christopher Marcus and Steve McFeely. That freed them up as well to think about the closure, think about the end rather than think about where it goes next. And I think that was really a creative gift to us, and we used that. He goes on to say this: I don't know what we would have done. I don't think we could have done as well with Endgame as storytellers if we were thinking about a future. So Endgame was about bringing it all to an end, and we knew in the back of our minds, we knew that somebody else was going to carry it forward, and the team and filmmakers were going to be able to people that would find a way to pick up the threads and carry a narrative forward in wonderful ways like WandaVision. And no, we weren't thinking about it, and I think that was a great gift to us. Look, man, I completely understand why that would have been paralysing, cumbersome for these two great directors, for the team of writers, to have to think about WandaVision and the future of the MCU, the eternal Shang-Chi. How do we connect this in to this story that we are trying to complete? It would have been too much. To be quite frank, they tied up 10 years, 11 years of storytelling momentously. It was an out-of-body experience going to see Endgame and seeing Captain America grabbing Mjolnir, seeing Hulk reversing the snap, seeing Tony Stark's amazing heroic sacrifice. What an arc that was for that character. And I completely agree with what people are saying about Robert Downey Jr. It was a travesty that guy didn't get any sort of notice, recognition for his work in the MCU in terms of award ceremonies. He didn't have to win, but at least a nomination for that guy's hard work. He was the godfather of this amazing saga. It would have been over-cumbersome. It would have been too hard for those guys to have to think about all of that nonsense. They freed them up, and what we got was magic. And now we are getting into a new era of storytelling with WandaVision. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely amazing that what we're seeing in this next phase. It's starting with a bang with WandaVision. It was supposed to start with Black Widow. I recently read Tom Holland isn't even getting to read the script of getting to see the final cut of Black Widow. So that may hint that there's some interesting things going on in there. Spoilerific moving forward. We've got another comment here. I'm glad WandaVision came after Endgame. There is a tragedy behind both the Vision and Wanda characters from the event of Infinity War. You're absolutely right, man. It's almost been beautiful the way it's played out, because we of course seen Wanda getting snapped out of existence. She comes back. She's not really aware what's happened with Vision. He's been taken apart time and again by this shithead Hayward, that sword. She has to fight Thanos and save the universe. She then has time to sort of, I don't know what, I was about to say decompose, but that was technically Vision. He was decomposing. The vibranium was apparently breaking apart. Sort of decompress was the word I was looking for. And then we get the events of WandaVision. It was really beautiful the way it's played out now. And I'm glad I'm sure they actually delayed, or they brought WandaVision forward, they swapped it with something else. I'm sure they've done some switcheroon, and I'm glad they've played it out the way it has, because it's in a really unique way to start this new era of storytelling. Really looking forward to seeing Spider-Man 3, really looking forward to Multiverse of Madness with the great Sam Raimi. And yeah, there's some other things I've got going on here in this topic I want to speak about under a sort of general umbrella about WandaVision and the future of Disney Marvel and their release slots in general. First and foremost, this amazing work from the great Boss Logic. This guy is an amazing graphics designer and just artist in general. And look at this, man. Look at this image he has gifted us. And in a sense, he's painting a picture of Tom Holland's Peter Parker gazing out from a sword, looks like spaceship facility, looking down on Earth. And it's Wanda Maximoff's Hex expanding out and eclipsing the entire Earth. Now, I don't know how the end of WandaVision is going to play out. It's going to be really interesting to see this final episode. I can't say how excited I am to see what's going to happen with Vision, White Vision, with Wanda, with Agatha, with the kids, with everybody, man. This is my choice. We spoke about this, me and Stephen, in a review a couple of weeks back when she moved the Hex forward to save Vision. And we did ponder whether this Hex could expand out and not stop. She may lose control. It may be she has to sacrifice Vision. The grief gets too much for her. And she expands it out across the whole world. And this is what really brings in the buff of the mutants. The buff of perhaps the Fantastic Four. I can't tell you, man, how exciting that would make me. And I love that image that Boss Logic has painted up. That has just sort of manifested what I was thinking beautifully, and an amazing shot, and just a shot of him with the mask off as well, absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to see WandaVision, and again, glad the Russos didn't have to get bogged down with that. The final thing I'm going to say, and I'm not going to linger on it too much because I've got a lot of topics to get through and time's running out here, it's very, very late. Disney Marvel, Bob Chapek has been out speaking about release slots and shrinking of the theatrical window. Spoke about, I think, Universal doing it, Paramount's doing it to get it onto Paramount Plus. We know that HBO Max and Warner Brothers are bastardising the sort of theatrical release. Looks like Disney are doing it now as well. They have done some analytical sort of delving into the minds of consumers. They've came to the conclusion that film fans are very impatient now, and with a year out of going to theatres and getting things direct to their fingertips, they're going to change the way that movies are being consumed. And I spoke about this in a show the other day about Paramount, and I don't think things are going back to the way they were before. I think it's going to be a very different consumption of film moving forward. I think we're going to see theatres being sidetracked. They'll always be there. I think we will see the theatrical window being shrunken by every major studio, and if they're all doing it, then there's nothing the theatres can do about it. But look, says I wasn't going to linger on it.